New signs that President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigrants is having an impact here. Border czar Tom Homan is talking about this, claiming that illegal migrant crossings have dropped 90% since President Trump's inauguration on January 20th. The official migrant encounter numbers for January could come out as early as today. Meanwhile, a senior DHS official telling NewsNation that nonviolent migrants are also being held at Guantanamo, despite the president's vow that only the worst criminals could be sent there. Joining me now, I have Indiana Congresswoman Erin Houchin, who is House Republican Conference Secretary. Congresswoman, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
What data, just for starters, what data are you seeing as far as migrant crossings here in recent weeks, and how much of this is going to depend on Mexico and Canada following through with enforcement?
Well, thank you. I think we're certainly seeing data that is showing one thing first, that the promises made on the campaign trail that we would secure the border are being delivered on. Crossings are down by our accounts around 90%. The message is being received that the United States northern and southern border is closed. And that will be a deterrent for people trying to come into the country, that it's not wide open. The United States border is secure thanks to President Trump, and we are seeing the benefits of that. And quite honestly, morale is up in Border Patrol and ICE, and we have caught about 11,000 illegal immigrant criminals ready for deportation, including in my home district in the state of Indiana.
I also wanted to talk to you about birthright citizenship, because at least 3 judges now have blocked President Trump's birthright citizenship ban. Where do you see that legal fight going from here? And do you believe birthright citizenship will ultimately be revoked for children of people in the country illegally?
Look, it is an issue that we're going to have to talk about. We're going to have to address that. Under Joe Biden, President Biden, we would literally have people crossing into the United States and then delivering their children. And there has to be some conversation about this. President Trump, he has said that, if it's in the courts, if he has to appeal something, he will. He's going to follow that directive. But he's also the president of the United States, and we do have separation of powers. The push and pull between all the different branches of government will play out in this conversation, as it should, for our democracy.
Thank you for answering all those border questions. Let me move on to DOGE right now, Congresswoman, because tensions are high as the House DOGE subcommittee held its first hearing on Wednesday. Let me play just a part of it and get your take on the other side.
And I believe enslaving our nation in debt is one of the biggest betrayals against the American people by its own elected government.
DOGE is trying to abolish the Department of Education. That means opportunities denied to kids. It means you're ripping away opportunities for children with disabilities who are dependent on this money.
Yeah, Congresswoman, earlier this week when Elon Musk held that press conference in the Oval Office, he himself said, DOGE is moving fast here. Mistakes are going to be made. But these are people's lives that we're talking about, and jobs and careers. Do the benefits outweigh the risks?
Well, look, it's really interesting to hear House Democrats say that not having a Department of Education would result in all of these terrible things happening, when we only created the Department of Education under President Jimmy Carter. So, look, DOGE is moving at a rapid pace. The American people elected Donald Trump. He has directed Elon Musk to make these changes. He's making them in broad daylight. He's admitting when there are errors and correcting it as soon as possible. This is a threat to the bureaucracy. I've heard many House Democrats say this is a threat to democracy. No, this is exactly what democracy would appreciate, that this is how our government should work. Now, the branches of government are going to debate over this, and as they should. But this is not a threat to democracy. This is a threat to the bureaucracy, which is exactly why House Democrats are afraid.
Yeah, and I guess my last question for you before I let you go is can President Trump and Elon Musk together make all these slashes to funding and spending, dismantle entire agencies without congressional approval?
Well, if we are going to pass legislation, President Trump mentioned it. He said, if I have to have congressional approval to cut waste, fraud, and abuse, I will do that, and I will get it. House Republicans and Senate Republicans will deliver, and I defy Senate Democrats to vote against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.